Welcome to the drawing room located at 36 North Water Street in downtown New Bedford. We're here this evening for a virtual tour as part of AHA Night, where we showcase our women artists, some of which are based in New Bedford. I'm Anthi Frangiadis, owner of the drawing room, and I will be your guide this evening. I'm with Phyllis Adams, who is a painter based out of New Bedford, and we're chatting about some of her paintings. It looks like you have a new piece behind you.
I do. Look, my birds. So that's an example of sort of me exaggerating realism. I sort of take an idea like with the birds, and I draw a couple of them, and then I kind of fool around with the setting, and I sort of make up a landscape for them, and then the colors are the best part, to put in the colors.
How do you determine what color palette you're using?
It depends. I tend to use blue a lot. I don't know why, and a lot of turquoise too. And then I don't know. I just get a sense and I go with it. What colors look good, and I tend to have they call it a high key palette, bright kind of bright colors, not muted. I do love grays too. Like there's quiet areas, like even in this painting, but this painting isn't finished yet. There's I don't have pictures, but I put in a lot more detail around the edges of the marsh. And then you see those little circle things, those will all be different colors. That's the fun part.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You haven't always been a painter. So do you want to share with us how you ended up in painting?
No, I actually, I always loved to paint. No, no. No, I always loved to paint. I used to take Saturday classes at RISD when I was younger, and somehow then I got married, had kids, and then I had a job with Lotus. It's a computer company from a long time ago. Nobody will remember. 1, 2, 3, the spreadsheet, that sort of thing.
I do remember that.
Yeah. So I was a software manager. You'd never know it with my difficulty trying to hook up today. I didn't have the volume up, everybody, but that's very technical. But I did that for about 10 years plus, and then luckily I could retire, and that's when I knew I wanted to paint, and I took classes and I took a lot of workshops from a lot of artists that I admired. Not so much that I wanted to paint like them; it's just they were good teachers, and so I've always been into taking workshops and classes and that sort of thing to learn. And yeah, so that's
Have you and your family always been on the South Coast?
Yes. Actually, I've lived all over. I probably moved about 15 times in my life, but I lived out on the West Coast for a while, and then I moved back here. I lived up in New Hampshire, in Hanover, New Hampshire, where Dartmouth College is.
Oh, it's beautiful there.
Yeah, I lived right near the campus, and it's where my kids sort of grew up. But basically, I always feel like I'm from Westport because we had a place there. We still do. My father still lives there, over by the back that road that runs.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So we're right there on the left, and so we grew up there in the summers, and then my parents moved down there year round. So, and then I'm one of 9 children. A lot of my family lives in and around Westport. So I feel like that's where I'm from. And it's a great place. You know, that's what influences my art because I grew up there, and where the house is, if you walk down to the left, it's the sand dunes and the beach, and down the road to the right is the river and the docks. And so we had access to the river and the ocean. And yeah, it's just a beautiful place. And that's what's inspired all my art, is growing up in Westport.
Well, and it always, to me, all of your landscapes seem to have multiple layers or multiple striations, you know, both horizontally and depth-wise. That's something that I've enjoyed.
What makes them more abstract too is I didn't realize, but I don't put any horizon line in a lot of them. Like the bird paintings. Let me run and get another painting.
Okay, sounds good.
Here's another one. These are the only 2 I have.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
Well, these are more, it's funny, these are more realistic. This one isn't finished yet either because the colors are too much the same. I got to change stuff. You can see the detail of the birds. Oh,
Well,
yeah.
it looks like you start with underpainting.
That's what gives it the texture. The birds are painted all black or dark color underneath. See, you can see the sort of striation there. They're sort of, I use like a dark color underneath. And then I paint with a palette knife. Otherwise, you get a very smooth surface. But with the palette knife, you get the black coming through
Right.
more, so it gives it form, texture and form. Yeah, but again, there's no horizon line on these, so it gives it more of an abstract quality.
So this month we have been featuring some of our women artists here in the drawing room, and we've been working with the Women's Fund locally, who just moved to the old Gallery 65 space
Oh, yeah.
to highlight the women. Have you experienced any problems with being a woman artist, or any?
I've experienced in any profession being a woman.
Oh yeah, in any
My other
profession.
profession, a lot. I was the only woman in a team of 20 men, which wasn't fun.
Yeah.
But I think it's just universal. That what really, I don't know if I should say, but really bothers me, and this I think is true in the art world, is like this is my second career. A lot of times they'll have men who do lectures, male artists who do lectures and things, and it's always such a big deal. They give them a lot of publicity, if they're former doctors or that sort of thing. And I just feel like there's a prejudice with women that we don't get the recognition like that. It happens a lot in New England, I find, they're previous professionals, and then they turn to art, and it instantly gives them credibility. I don't know if you know what I mean.
Sure. Yeah, no, I can
I've seen that a
relate
lot.
to that. Mhm.
Yeah. It's like, oh my God, he's a doctor and he paints, it's like, it immediately gives him entrance, into the art world. I found that a lot.
So while we have been working on this project, one of the things that I quickly recognize is that most of the work that's in the drawing room is done by women artists or women makers.
Yeah.
So, and that has not been by design. I
Right.
certainly didn't go out looking for that, but putting together the list, it was quite apparent.
Yeah. Well, it's what you were attracted to, it's the art that,
Well, yeah, it's the artwork actually that I had
Yeah.
been looking at. It wasn't necessarily, wasn't necessarily the fact that we shared a gender, but
Right.
so.
And it's also very eclectic. What you have is quite a good variety.
Yeah, well, your work certainly has been popular here, and I've enjoyed getting to know more about you and your family.
Get more done.
Yes, you do need to get more painting done.
I know.
Here are some of the pieces that we have by Phyllis Adams. There's a variety of sizes, from small 8x8s to some of the larger 20x20s on the wall. We also have a collection of G-clay prints by Phyllis, which are framed and at a lower price point. A G-clay print is a high-quality print of an original painting that allows artists to benefit from selling a piece multiple times. This is an example of Phyllis's G-clay print. Perfect. Which you'll see we have two of. Another maker based here in New Bedford is potter Corrinn Jussel. We have some of her porcelain wares here in the drawing room. They come in fabulous glazes. They're glazed, they typically tend to be glazed on the interior and then bare porcelain on the exterior. I'm happy to have Corrinn with us here in the drawing room to talk more about her work. You are a potter who works out of Hatch Street Studios.
I am.
Tell me about your experience here in New Bedford as a maker.
I actually have found quite a nice home here in New Bedford as a maker. I found a studio at Hatch Street Studios probably about 2 years ago now, and have been very happy there since, and I've progressively started to build up clientele on the South Coast and the Cape, and have been able to build my business. I recently in October went to just full self-employment, which is a pretty cool thing.
That's great.
And I'm only 2 years out of school, which was even cooler thing.
And you grew up on the Cape, so
I did.
a lot of your work to me has coastal themes running through it.
Yep.
Especially this cut that you make on your edge.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate a little bit on that, or how you stumbled upon it?
A lot of my work is based around the ocean and the beach, and it's actually more based on erosion and the concept of how the ocean affects the shoreline and different ridges that are created in the sand from the ebb and flow of the ocean in between tides. And it's all about the ocean. I grew up just breathing salt water. So
It shows. So one of the things that people comment most about are the beautiful glazes on the inside and the colorway and how you select them. I know you do a lot of glaze testing.
a lot of glaze testing. I have worked very hard to bring together lots of different colors, a wide color palette, but also colors that can still have conversations. In terms of like their colors aren't far enough apart. You're not having like a sharp red and like a really subtle, yellow or something that want to fight color-wise.
Mm-hmm.
They all are pretty happy together.
So you could end up with a full set of dishes for your kitchen
that are
and
multicolored,
glazed
yeah.
different colors.
I actually have a lot of people that do order multiple colors for their place settings, which I always find a little funky, but
That makes
it's
a lot
pretty
of
neat.
sense. All the matching things
Yeah.
are, overrated.
Yeah, and it's
like
fun when you
matching
like
socks.
intermingle them too.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's great. Thank you for joining us
Yeah,
today.
no problem. Thanks
So
for having
are
me.
Do you have your work available in other locations across the South Coast?
I do. Yeah.
Where are you? You're here in the drawing room.
I'm here in the drawing room.
Yes.
I also have work at 6.5 Bridge Street in Peyton Aram. I have work at Arch Contemporary Ceramics in Tiverton. And I think that sums up South Coast area. And then, not that Tiverton's technically South Coast, but it's a very close neighbor.
Yeah.
And then other than that, I have work out in New Jersey and New York.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
You're a national plotter.
No. I would not say that. I just sneak around.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The oil paintings that you see behind me are by Wareham artist Christy Gunnels. Christy's landscapes of boats, birds, and overall marshes have been very popular with our customers here in the drawing room. Her background is a public school art teacher, and she has since retired and has been painting full-time. Christy captures light and atmosphere and a realism that's almost like photography. Another thing that I enjoy about Christy's work is the depth of color and texture in her backgrounds. Not only is she capturing the realism of the subject, she's capturing an atmosphere and a mood with the background. Another artist who depicts birds that's available here in the drawing room is work by Brenda Wrigley Scott. Brenda's work is very different from Christy's. They have actually shown together at the Marion Arts Center and are also both featured here in the drawing room. Brenda's work is acrylic on paper and tends to be a lot freer and colorful, while she'll also name the bird at the bottom of the piece. So this particular piece is a flycatcher, and Brenda is based in Tiverton, Rhode Island. Another piece of hers that recently arrived in the drawing room is the oyster catcher. This caught my eye because it reminded me of a New Bedford scene. We also carry handmade jewelry in the drawing room. I am currently wearing a pair of Jasmine Keene earrings, which are fairly subtle. Some of her more colorful work is being sported by Liz. Jasmine makes all of her beads individually. I stumbled on Jasmine because Jasmine Keene is the name of the company, the name of her cat. Brenda Morrison is the maker. She's a maker based out of Wareham, Massachusetts, and makes these wonderful necklaces, mismatched earrings, bud coordinating in glass. Another jeweler's work who's available in the drawing room is Leanne Herod. Leanne has a collection of hardware jewelry that ranges from compasses to levels to ruler bracelets. The rules are available in metric or inches, and the compasses and the levels do function. One of my favorite new artists is Hand Blown Glass by McDermott Glass Studio in Sandwich. McDermott Glass Studio has 3 full-time glassblowers, David McDermott and his wife Yukimi Matsumoto, along with Isabel Green. The 3 of them create beautiful glass pieces such as these wall hangings on our wall. The bowls that you would traditionally see on a table are designed with a built-in hook so that they hang with a simple nail and or picture hook on the wall. Some of them do sit level, however, they were created as wall hangings and not bowls. We have a collection of glassware as well as beer steins or beer mugs that come in a variety of different colors. One of my favorite pieces of glass, however, by Yukimi, are the glass-blown animal ornaments. I find that they're excellent gifts for children or children at heart. The ceramics behind me on the shelf are by Craig Crawford, a woman artist from Providence, Rhode Island. Her company name is Wonderlust Ceramics, and she silk screens various designs on various shaped plates. Craig's work has a retro Victorian vibe that you would not expect to see in a modern day shop. We have shown it here with a small desk frame calendar by New Bedford artist Margot Connolly Mason. Kathleen Bradley is an artist that's based in Sudbury, Massachusetts. She goes by CB, and she creates mixed media pieces from a variety of different found objects. This collection of owls arrived earlier this year, and they are wall hangings of different sizes. Each owl has a different character and personality, and each one is signed by Kathleen. These are hand-formed oyster shells by Deb McCarty of Cove Lane Pottery. Deb is located in Pocasset, Mass, and her oyster shells are designed to hold salt and pepper for your table, or as we like to say here in the drawing room, condiments of your choice. She also has hand-built platters of fish and beautiful blue glazes that have been quite popular with our customers. Another popular piece that is hand-built by Deb comes in small, medium, and large are horseshoe crabs that have a variety of different glazes and hang on your wall or could be shown on a table. Another artist's work is pulled leather pieces by Casey Gunschel. Her work goes from the monumental scale to a small scale. Popular in the shop have been her individual miniature leather animals. One of my favorite pieces is The Hound and the Hare, which is a depiction of a hound chasing a hare, inscripted with a fable, "I was only running for my dinner when he was running for his life." Casey's work is versatile in that it can be hung on a wall or also used as an area rug, durable and lined for floor use. Connie Coleman of Coleman Artists in Glass creates wall art as well as custom glass tiles. She's developed a process where she uses foil paint paper behind glass, seals them, and they can be used as decorative tiles within a backsplash or other project within your home, or beautifully framed for your walls. Thank you for supporting the drawing room. We hope we brought something beautiful into your home this evening. And I look forward to seeing you in person in downtown New Bedford or online at anthif.com/shop.
Bye.